Autobots, roll out!
Hello and welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Titan Returns Voyager Optimus Prime and Diak, and I love this toy. Originally released in February of 2017, this guy is currently on stores right now as of the time of this recording, and he's retailing for anywhere between $25 to $30 depending on where you find him. So we've got ourselves another Optimus Prime release for the Titan Return series, and this time around we've got one that's sort of kind of based on G2 Optimus Prime. Back in the Generation 2 days, we had a tanker trailer Optimus Prime, and this is kind of an homage to that, and I really liked that they did that. And this was something that this is a release that I was really looking forward to. However, that's not to say that this toy isn't without problems. I have been a little disappointed with some of the issues that I've come across with this guy, but let's get right into him. So as you can see here, Optimus in our truck mode. He is a triple changer. He's going to have three forms, the first one of which we're looking at one right now. It's our tanker trailer. And Diak's right here. I'm going to set Diak aside for now, and we're just going to take a look at the tanker trailer itself. Here in tanker trailer mode, he's approximately 8.5 inches long. He's about 2.5 inches tall. He rolls just fine. And I really like the way this looks. Again, I've got the black wheels here, and I'm going to have to do something about that. But other than that, I really like the way these look. I like they use some shiny metallic paint for the tank there. And I've got some shiny stickers on those metallic stickers that they used across the back here. Now, I have heard reports that these don't last long. So, and in some cases, in some spots, you can see where they are already starting to peel. So I can see kind of what the complaints have been about. You can see actually, now that I'm looking at it, every single corner of my stickers are peeling. So yeah, that's something to look out for. But I really like the way this looks. He came with, again, Diak here. He's going to be his headmaster. Diak's approximately 1.5 inches tall. We'll take a look at him real quick. He is tiny, even when compared to the original headmasters from G1. Those guys are relatively bigger, considerably bigger than this guy is. But there he is, mostly unpainted gray, blue legs, and a silver painted head, and a giant Optimus Prime head on the back there. The head, I think that's on a ball joint, so, you can kind of tilt it side to side and forward and backward a little bit, and of course, he can turn his head. Come on, focus, Diak. There you go. So he can turn his head there. And then he's got his shoulders are on, I think these are on ball joints also, because they allow you to go in and out a little bit, and you can, move them up and down. So not a whole lot of range, though. You can really only kind of go that far. You can force it to go up further, but you'd be forcing it at that point. I wouldn't recommend doing that. And then he can, he can bend at the hips, and he can bend at the knees, so he can, you can pretend that he's sitting on stuff. So he came with Diak. He also came with this card, as these Titan Master figures tend to do. There's your card. And the only reason I even kept that is because of the review. And he also has a gun or a rifle or a laser, whatever you want to call this, and his signature sword from also G2. So now, cool thing about this is Diak can sit on the gun here, and he can man this gun. So if you have some of the other Titan Returns sets where they transform into bases and stuff like that, and we'll see this later on when I do the leader class Optimus Prime, the Power Master one. When we do the base mode, you'll be able to see. We'll take a look at this guy sitting in the base mode, so you can do stuff like that with it. You can also plug the sword in here if you want, and now he's got some kind of crazy laser sword cannon turret emplacement thing. Ish. That's the official name of this. There you go. I just invented it. So there you go. So you can do all of that. And you can also store all of these in the vehicle mode. Diak has his proper seat right here on the top. You can pop this guy open. And there's a little space in there for Diak. So again, you put Diak in a little sitting position just like so. And you can pop him in there. Usually feet first, not head first. There you go. You can pop him right in there just like so and close the canopy. And now Diak is hidden his driver's chair or so. And then you've got a couple of ports, one on each side, there and there. So you can take each weapon, whichever one you want, and put it on, peg it into whichever side you want, just like that. And with the gun, you can do it like this, or you can do it like this also. And you could, if you still had Diak sitting in there, he would be kind of manning that cannon that's mounted on the side of the truck there, which I'm not a fan of these weapons sitting on side of vehicles anyway. You guys know that about me. I just prefer that and have the weapons on the side. There you go. So I did mention that there were some problems. I have ran into some problems with this guy. As you can see right there, the front of the truck just does not seem to clip for me. And this doesn't seem to be a general issue all the way across the board. I have seen pictures and videos of other examples of this figure where it does clip and it does close properly. Mine does not. Just absolutely nothing about mine will close together. Things just don't seem to line up. There are some engineering decisions that were made with this toy that really kind of make me wonder why they went that way. So yeah, I have this big gap issue here, and I thought the problem might have been because of the tail wings for the plane that sit inside of the cab, and it's not the case. I can take those out and then close this back up, and it still won't close. And there's some tabs that sit on the top of the shoulders right there. There's these tabs, and I thought that might be the problem. I can't find any purpose for those tabs at all. I considered shaving those off, but it turns out they are not the problem. The problem is the actual hinge for the shoulder itself. You can see the hinge right in there and there. Those are the hinges for the shoulders, and the hinges for the shoulders, and they are the ones that are pushing up against this tank and won't allow these two halves to come in all the way. So usually I have to not peg the front of the truck here. I have to leave them a little bit of unpegged on those sides there to get them to somewhat close here. Otherwise, this thing will be completely V'd out in vehicle mode, and it just doesn't work. And I was really disappointed about that. The other thing that I find odd is the wings. They didn't really make a proper alignment for the wings when they close up into the tanker. You can see that the wheels themselves do kind of V out a little bit. There are some tabs. Again, there's two tabs, one on each wing. You can barely see those there. They don't tab. They don't serve any purpose. They don't tab into each other. They don't line up. You can see that these two cylinders here, they don't line up. The wings are actually not put away evenly, and that's because if you try to put them evenly, these two cylinders will push away from each other, and nothing tabs in together. There doesn't seem to be any kind of order or sense in how things are supposed to tab. So it just simply doesn't tab. It doesn't line up. It doesn't tab up. So you have to kind of just shove the wings in there the best way that they'll fit, and then close the tank. Now the tank will close and hold perfectly fine. There's no problems there. It's just odd that these are just kind of shoved in there any which way, and then of course you see that the wheels are V'ing out. However, that does not impede the vehicle from rolling. The vehicle rolls just fine, and it doesn't veer off to any side when you're rolling it. So I guess that works. So let's get into transformation. Back up a little bit, and our first mode is going to be airplane mode, and we'll go ahead and, well, we can leave Diak in there, so we'll just go ahead and leave him in there. First thing we're going to do is we're going to separate the cab here and here, and you can see these are the hinges that I was telling you about. These hinges just push up against that part of the tank right there. So just take these guys and fold them all the way out like so. Take the front, or this bottom piece here, just fold that all the way down. Actually, that's not going to fold all the way down just yet. That's going to stay up. Really, what we're going to do is we're going to take these this tail, bring this up, then we're going to take this red piece back up against the back of the plane right there. This is going to be the tail, the tail. So just take this on this hinge right here and push it in, and that's going to line up right there, and then you can open up the, there we go. And you can open up the tail wings. There you go. On the front here. Oh, so let's actually let's leave these guys out to the side for now. We're not going to bring those up forward just yet. We're going to take the sides of the tank right here, and these panels are going to come up and forward. Now, we're not going to bring them all the way forward. We're just going to bring them out like this to get them out of the way for the time being. And then when we're done, we're going to put them back in there. Separate the tank just like so. Bring up our wings. We're going to deal with these in a minute. Take the nose cones. The nose cones are hidden inside of the tank right here. So bring these guys out. Rotate them and then bring them all the way out, just like so. Same thing on the other side. Bring that out. Take the wheels of the truck, and I know this looks convoluted. It's a lot simpler than it looks. But it does look super convoluted because you have to do steps. You got to do like a half of a step, then do the next step, and then finish the first step you were on. So now take the back wheels of the tanker here, and we're going to flip these all the way around. Just like so. I said just like that and just like so all at the same time. So go ahead and flip that there as well, just like that. And you can go ahead and put the tank back together. And when you do that, you're also going to put the nose cone together. Clip all of that together, just like that. And make sure it's lining up. And mine doesn't seem to be lining up now. Sometimes it lines up without problems, and sometimes it doesn't want to line up. And that is the big issue that I have been having with this figure. Sometimes I seem to get it lined up no problem, just like that, and sometimes it doesn't. And then these panels are going to come back the way they were, just like that. And now we can bring these forward again. Now the wings are going to get tricky. The wings, we're going to bring the wings out. And what we want to do with the wings here is we're going to have... was I supposed... I don't think I was supposed to bring these forward yet. I don't think. Let's see. Yep, I was supposed to have these out yet still. So, again, we're going to, once again, we're going to bring the front of the truck out, and we're going to open these panels back up again because I wasn't supposed to close them yet. Okay, so, yep, that's exactly where we want our wings. So, once we get our wings in place, is that right? I'm actually not sure. Yeah, actually, that's right. So, go ahead and bring these panels in, bring the wings down, and there is a little bit of a tab right here on the top of the tank, and there's a slot right there underneath the wing. So go ahead and it's not gonna like super securely slot in. It's just gonna sit in place. It's just kind of a guide to show you where the wing's going to sit. You do have to flip them around for the different modes. So let's get this guy lined up and closed up. A lot of fidgeting, a lot of paneling, but still not too complicated of a transformation, and I still kind of enjoy playing with it. So there you go. There's the plane mode, and then the last thing we're going to do, open up the cockpit right here, because now you're going to find the Diak is facing backwards, and you can leave them that way if you want, or you can turn them around once again. There you go. And there's Optimus in his plane mode, which is very, very silly. It's a terrible looking plane. This thing is never going to fly. With those short stubby wings. And, you know, you've got these half truck parts hanging off the back here, which is super silly. You know what, though? Seriously speaking, though, if these cab parts weren't here and the wings were longer, this would actually make a somewhat believable or convincing plane mode. It's not a terrible plane mode, but... it is and it isn't, you know? I don't know if it's early in the morning. I'm not awake yet. I haven't had my coffee, but there it is. Here in plane mode, Optimus is approximately 9 inches long. He's about 2.5 inches tall, and he's got a wingspan of about 6 inches. Not much more to say there, other than what I have already said. It's a terrible plane mode. It's not believable. It's never going to fly. But it is fun. I have really, you know, and I did not expect to like this plane mode. And I do. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that in the end, even though it is fidgety, and you saw even, I've done this transformations dozens and dozens and dozens of times, and not a single transformation has gone by where I haven't had to fidget with these wings and go, wait, does this go this way or that way? I had thought that I had done it enough times now that when I did it for the review, I was just going to get right to it. As you saw, not the case. I still questioned myself, and I had this backwards or that backwards or whatever. So, yeah, the wings get fidgety. But even though I have had fun with this play mode, I've enjoyed it. This is fun for me. And again, you know, everything lines up and everything plugs in together the way it does, where the truck mode, I guess, kind of disappointed me a little bit because the truck mode doesn't, which is the one that aesthetically, that's the one that I like the best. But what are you going to do? So there it is. There's the plane mode. Not much more you can say about that, unless you want to, you know, add weapons. Again, you can add the weapons on the ports there, or there. Nothing really on the bottom. You know, a lot of times you'll be able to put weapons on the bottom like that or on the wings. That's not the case with this guy, so you'd have to put them on the sides there. So that's pretty much it for the plane mode. Now, to get into robot mode, I am going to remove Diak. And again, you can leave Diak in there if you want, but as you guys probably already know, we are going to need Diak for the robot mode. So let's get him out and set him off to the side. And let's go into robot mode, which we're pretty much already there. Go ahead and separate the tail, and then we're just gonna bring that guy down just like so. Then we can separate these guys here and here. This red piece that we put on the back of the plane earlier, let's back up a little more and bring the camera up. We are going to get a little tall on this one. So this red piece, as you saw earlier, is the chest piece. So we're going to go ahead and bring this all the way down, and it's going to double hinge right there, just like that. And then we're going to work on the legs and wings. So again, we're just going to bring the wings up. And actually, this time we are going to rotate them up like so. So we're kind of putting the wings, we're moving them from the front here where they are on the plane, and we're kind of putting them up on the back on what would be the robot's shoulders. So bring this up like this, turn the wing, and then turn that hinge there, just like that. And then you can bring this down, and you can fold the wings like that, just like so. You can leave these out if you want to give Optimus wings. We'll look at that later in robot mode. That'll be a choice. So there's that. And then we're going to go into the leg. So once again, we are going to take these panels that we opened up for the transformation earlier. We're going to bring them all the way down this time. This time they are going to stay down there. Okay. We're going to separate the legs. And now if you look, well, let's save that step. Go ahead and put the nose cone away. So let's go ahead and turn it and bring it in. And pop it inside the leg, just like that. We're going to bring the wheels of the truck back down again. Now, when we're halfway there, again, half of a step, do another step, then do the second half of the first step. Now, we are going to take the foot out of that little wheel well right there. And then you can finish bringing the leg down. Same thing on this side. So we're going to start rotating the leg. Bring the foot out. And then bring the rest of the leg all the way down. There's your legs done. Now, if you look here on the hips, there is a bit for space for travel right there. So we're going to take the hips and we're going to push them all the way forward, just like that. Bring the arms down all the way. These are going to the panels come down, and then you can separate the shoulders or the arms from the shoulders right there on each side, just like that. Let's get them standing up, and we are definitely going to need to bring the camera up a little more. I may have to back up some. There we go. Turn the arms, and then the fists are right in there. Go ahead and rotate these around. The fists are the front of the grills right there, so you can push the grill. That's going to get just started on the fist right there. Come around the back, again, where the wings are at, the front windshield of the truck right here. This is going to come up, and then this is going to rotate, and that's going to bring the pylon all the way down. Same thing on this side. And this is that hinge that I was telling you about, the hinge for these shoulder pylons. That hinge pushes right up against that back of the tank there. So that's what's giving me trouble. And again, mileage may vary. But it's definitely been a big problem for my copy of this guy. And there is the robot mode for Optimus Prime. And we're still missing. Let's get them lined up. Another issue that I am having is I have a little bit of the hips here. This hinge on the hips is a little weak. I need to tighten that up some. So there's Optimus in robot mode, and we're obviously missing a very important element. That's going to be the head. So Diak's going to come in, and what you want to do with Diak is just put the arms straight down to the side, fold them in half at the hips, And there's your Optimus head right there. This guy's the head for Diak, if you don't know, is going to plug into that port right there. So you can plug Optimus's head right there. It takes a little bit of force. And then finally, we're going to take the chest. We're going to push the chest in. And the sides of the head are going to come out. And there is Optimus in robot mode. Here in robot mode, Optimus is approximately 7 inches tall. 7.5 if you want to go to the top of the shoulder pylons right there. Now, you can do a little bit more of a, I guess, I'll call it a G1 or a traditional look for him. And you can do that by leaving the pylons down, shoulder pylons. We can go ahead and just put those back away the way they were, just like so. We'll get all of this lined up again, wings lined up, just like that. And then you can bring these earpieces down. There you go. And you can do that, and he looks just as well. So this figure's been fun because I've actually been going back and forth between looks. And yeah, there you go. There's a little bit more of a traditional Optimus look. I know a lot of people are not fans of the pylons or those big earpieces on the side there. So it's really up to you. If you like one or the other, you can display it either way, which I think is really neat. I think I want to put an Autobot symbol on his shoulder there, though. But other than that, I really, really like the way this robot looks. And it's one of those things where I can't decide. I like this, and I like the shoulder pylons, too. So it's just one of those things, you know. I can't decide which way I want to display it. And I really love that about this figure. It gives you these options. It's just such a big change to the overall look of how Optimus looks in his robot mode. And personally, I think they both look great. Where I was a little disappointed with this guy in truck mode, the robot mode has more than made up for it. So there you go, back again in the his sort of kind of G2 look. And then again, if you want to give him even more, like I mentioned earlier, you can bring these out. And now Optimus has wings too. So how cool is that? I just again, I can't gush enough on this figure, on the robot mode and all the options that you get. You can see there the wings look perfectly fine right there where they are. So yeah, robot mode, can't gush enough on it. Love it, love it, love it. So we'll go ahead and put the wings back away so you can see how much backpack he gets in robot mode. And you can see him leaning forward a little bit. Again, like I said, on my copy, the hips tend to fall over a little bit on me, but that's on my copy too, and that's easy to fix. So there you go. There's Optimus again in his intended box picture look. There you go. We can give him his weapons real quick. So again, we'll give him his cannon, and again, very similar to the G2 cannon or rifle that the G2 figure had. And we'll also give him a sword so we can see what the sword looks like. And for some reason I made him a lefty. So there you go. There's Optimus with his sword and his cannon. I love it. I absolutely love it. So let's get into articulation. And so for articulation, we've got again, you remember Diak's head is on a ball joint. So that's going to give him quite a bit of range of movement here on the head. Let's look at the head real quick. Love the way that head looks. It's just such an Optimus Prime head. I don't know if you know what I mean by that, but maybe you do, maybe you don't. But to me, that just looks like such a classic Optimus Prime head right there. And again, so you've got a little bit of rotation at the neck due to the ball joint on Diak, and then the base that the head is mounted on also turns. So you can turn that base. See that how that base turns right there. So Optimus can look side to side as well. We've got shoulder rotation. It is going to be somewhat limited because of the pylon hitting the back of the backpack there. The shoulders can go in and out. We've got a rotation at the bicep. We've got a 90-degree at the elbow and nothing on the wrist, unfortunately. Also, no waist rotation. Hips can go forward and backward, and they can go in and out just like that. Thigh has a rotation, and the knee has a 90. Nothing at the ankle or at the feet here, other than just going in and up and down a little bit, and that is due to transformation. So there you go. There's Optimus, and this time I'm going to make him a righty. And because I think that looks cool. Just like that. And for comparison, let's take a look at him with the Last Night Voyager size Optimus Prime. That is also currently in the stores. In the stores. I got to stop doing these so early in the morning or drink some coffee. I cannot talk straight this early. So there you go. You can see the Last Night Optimus is just a little bit taller at the head. Overall, they're about the same size. So Voyager and Voyager, same price point. And it just occurred to me that, I need to fix his chest. It just occurred to me that I did not do a comparison in truck mode for Optimus. So, again, I got to wake up, Bert. So there he is. We'll give him his rifle. And like I said, overall, I really, really like this figure. Really fun figure. I have really enjoyed it. That's not to say that this figure is without problems. As you saw, I've got some gap issues in the truck mode. And those seem to be in due to engineering and not really something that at least nothing that I've found so far that's going to be fixable. So I love the way the truck mode looks, but I am disappointed in the overall product of the truck. The plane mode, I was not expecting to like it because aesthetically, I don't think it's a good looking plane. But I ended up liking the plane and finding it a lot of fun. And then the robot mode, in my opinion, made up for any faults that the two vehicle modes may have had, just because there are so many display options in robot mode, and I think that they're all great. So, yeah, like I said, this guy's currently in stores as of the time of this recording, so go get it. He's a great figure. And I think that about covers Transformers, Titan Returns, Voyager size Optimus Prime, and Diak. What did you think of this figure, and what would you like to see me review next? Let me know by leaving me a comment, give me some thumbs up, subscribe, and share with your friends. If you like what you see, next time I'll drink some coffee, or I'll do this in the afternoon when I am awake, and I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.